How we doing, guys? It is finished. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. There's no better medicine than getting yourself a place in the final at Wembley and beating Chelsea in the process. Kai Havertz, waka waka, hey, 60 million down the drain. Kai Havertz scores again. Oh, do you know what? Let me just make this clear, all right? Because I see so many people talking about the way that Arsenal play, that we're boring and all the rest of it. Here's a suggestion. Tell the teams that play against us to not set up so defensively with everybody behind the ball, and maybe there will be a more enjoyable game. We don't turn up to be defensive. We play the highest line in the Premier League. But we have to try and break teams down because all they want to do is defend. This is a cup semi-final second leg that Chelsea were losing. Yet the manager started with 5 centre-backs. And it didn't look like they were going to try and win the game. I actually think he may be confused and thought this was a league game and a draw was a decent result. I'm surprised after the game he didn't say in his interview that they were robbed of a point and they deserved it. Honestly, stop having a go at us, looking at us and saying we're negative, we're poor, we're boring. No, the teams we play against are boring. The teams we play against are negative. You only have to go and look at the Champions League. We play against teams that want to play. They don't set up in low blocks. We've played the likes of Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Inter Milan, and we've dispatched every single one of them. We score 4 past Atletico Madrid, 3 past Bayern Munich, 3 past Inter Milan in the San Siro. We win 8 out of 8. We score more goals than any other team in the Champions League. That includes PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, etc. So we're not the boring side. But we have to play a certain way because of the way that teams set up against us. And that's it. There's nothing more to say. Listen, it is what it is at the end of the day. Look, we didn't need to win the game. 0-0 was perfectly fine for us. 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4. Doesn't matter. We didn't need to win. But I'm watching that game unfold and I'm sitting there in the first half, and apart from trying to keep myself warm, because that is one of the coldest I've ever been at the Emirates, yeah? And it doesn't help that I've been unwell. But anyway, I'm watching it unfold and I'm thinking, are Chelsea gonna, try a little bit here? And in the first 45 minutes, they done nothing. Not a thing. And I was sitting there at half time and I was thinking to myself, is the tactic to keep it at 0-0 for the first 60 minutes, see if they can frustrate us? Then they'll bring on Esteval and Cole Palmer. And that's where they'll be able to take control of the game. And he does what I thought he would, and everybody else probably thought he would, which is bring Cole Palmer on and Esteval, but it was still nothing. I'm trying to sit there and think, what did Kepa really have to do in that final 20 to 30 minutes where you would have thought that Chelsea were all at it? Nothing. Not a thing. They had a free kick outside the box that hit the wall. That's it. They didn't do anything. And then as they're pushing in injury time, we break. Kai Havertz through one-on-one, round the keeper, slots it in. Good night, God bless. And a nice little point to the badge on the way. Woo! Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, everyone knows my feelings about, rivalries and everything. I love it. I've been brought up on it. Tribalism is such a good thing within football. And my rivalry and my hatred is Tottenham. Like, everyone knows that. And listen, if you've been brought up on it, you would know Tottenham fans are the same with regards to Arsenal. It is what it is. But I seriously, seriously, seriously dislike Chelsea. And it's not because of a rivalry where, a Manchester United or Liverpool or, really big, successful teams, and there's been good rivalry over the years or anything. When I was growing up, Chelsea were insignificant. An absolute nothing club. Shite. This is the same Chelsea that was struggling to fill their stadium. An absolute dilapidated wreck of a stadium that had billboards and posters up all over the place to try and help them save it. They were begging for handouts to save the bridge when Ken Bates sold the club for £1. Horrible, horrible club. I remember going to Stamford Bridge as a kid, right? And they used to have cars parked behind the goal at the shed end. The place was a dump. It always has been a dump. And what I don't like about them is that they bought their success, right? They're a nothing club, insignificant, but they bought their relevance. That's what I don't like. And we all know that the money that was used to buy that relevance, come on now. So yeah, anyway, listen, we'll play them again in a few weeks because we've got them in the Premier League at the Emirates, haven't we? But listen, at the end of the day, it's job done. We're through to Wembley. And that's the most important thing. It's a final to look forward to. Who will we be playing? I think it will be Man City. At the end of the day, they're 2-0 ahead against Newcastle. We can sit there tomorrow night with our feet up and watch that. I can't see Newcastle turning that around. I can't see them even winning that game by 2 clear goals and taking it to extra time and possibly penalties. I think that second goal that Man City scored in injury time just took the tie away. So it does look like it's going to be an Arsenal-Man City final. And, the one thing I say about it is that it looks like it's going to be Arsenal-Man City pretty much with everything. It's Premier League and Carabao Cup. And, we'll just have to wait and see if they win. One thing I will say, and I don't know if many people understand this, but obviously Semenyo can play for Man City because of this whole new rule change at the start of the season where you can play for 2 clubs and you're not cup tied or anything. But what people might not actually realise is that the signing has to be made before the first leg in January. So, with Semenyo, he was signed by Man City before the first leg, which means he's eligible to play, even though he played in the competition earlier on in the season for Bournemouth. Gay, he can't play. And he can't play if they get to the final or anything because he was signed by Man City after the first leg. So it does mean he is cup tied because he has played already in the competition for Palace. I'll answer that one just in case anybody's watching the game tomorrow and is thinking, how come Semenyo's not cup tied, but Guy is, and that's the reasoning. But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, it's job done. Okay, we've got a big game to look forward to at the weekend. Some tired limbs out there. But I think that, listen, we're going to make some changes as and when and where we need to and whatnot. And I think that the squad was used accordingly when I look at that. And I think we'll be ready for Saturday. And it's a big opportunity because we play first and we get to go, 9 points clear of Man City. The other thing as well is that with us winning this game, our away game to Wolves will now be postponed because on that weekend is the Carabao Cup final. And they've already confirmed that if we reach the final, then our game against Wolves will be the midweek before we play Tottenham. Now, you can look at that one or two ways where you go, oh, be nice to have had a week off before we play Tottenham, but we're playing, like Wigan in the FA Cup before and everything. And I think we're going to get a good rest before we go into those two games. So I'm not overly concerned. And the other part of that, which is good for us, the flip side of that, is that we play a standalone Premier League game. And if we get the 3 points against Wolves, then it's another 3 points that we move in front of everybody. And although they'll have, their game in hand, that will be down the line, not like 24 hours later or anything. So it heaps even more pressure on them if they're even further behind. So something that I'm looking ahead at, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But listen, at the end of the day, it's about this. We're in the Carabao Cup final. The quadruple is still alive. Oh, I swear down. If we won the quadruple, oh man, you need to delete me. You need to delete every social media platform going because I will absolutely hammer so many of you. We win just the Premier League, I'm going to hammer so many of you. But with that, including the Champions League, it's game over. But one step at a time. We're in the final. Let's enjoy it. Chelsea are crying. It's all good. I'm going to try and get warm now. I'm absolutely frozen still. Listen, we're in the final. Let me know what you thought of the game. I'm going to try and get warm. I need to go to bed. And yeah, you know what to do if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you lot very soon. I'm out of here.